Cavaliers to start out. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. And it's Thompson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Cavs didn't start the season as a team built around the three, but they would end it that way.
Yeah, and after the trade for Smith and Shumpert, it changed their dynamic. All of a sudden, they can do a lot of damage from beyond the arc.
Offensive rebound. And the dunk by Jordan.
Signature slam right there from the big fella. How many of those have we seen before?
Outside Irving. The three. Comes out of the gate empty. He's 0 for 1. On defense, Cleveland. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Guys, I caught up with Doc Rivers for a minute. I asked him if there was an X factor in this game, a player they couldn't forget about. And he said it would have to be Tristan Thompson, the power forward out of Texas. He said Thompson is still developing from a skill standpoint, but his motor is really off the charts. You always have to find him and get a body on him when the shot goes up because the guy never takes a play off. Guys, they've been forewarned. We'll see if they take it to heart.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Griffin kicks to Mbamute. Ball outside. Pass to Mbamute. Shot clock at 5. Redick with the bucket. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Outside Irving. With the teardrop, Jordan with the rebound.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Jordan with a screen on Smith. Off the screen. No luck.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Clippers lead by 1. And we'll be back in just a moment. And DeAndre Jordan not a focal point offensively for this team, but as a defender, he understands he can make a big difference. Jordan, a man who knows what his job is, and he likes his job, Clark, and does it very, very well. He is excelling.
Yeah, he is. He may not be the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, but he is certainly the Clippers' Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan's become a defensive beast, an animal defensively, and really the thing of it is he's still learning and growing. He's going to continue to get better, which is scary.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
We've got Rivers. Pierce is out there with Crawford. Then there's Maurice Spates. Then it's Felton in at the 1. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
Thinking about Doc Rivers being a leader, he was like that on the floor, Clark, as well. You know that. You went against him.
A leader and a winner, no doubt about it. And there have been a lot of coaches that came from his old Celtics team. And of all of them, perhaps the least surprising is Doc Rivers for the reasons we just mentioned, leader and coach on the floor.
Austin Rivers traded to the Clippers last year. A change of scenery did him well, and he was comfortable coming off the bench.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, he seemed to get steady playing time, and that's what he needed most. And also, he wasn't defined by a position. They were able to find a niche role for him to play in.
Here's Felton. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Outside Williams. Williams kicks to Sanders. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And you know, the role for Rivers last season was that of a bench scorer. I mean, not sure if he'll ever be a starter, but he's a winning basketball team with his skill set.
And with the trade last season, Rivers became the first son ever to play for his father. His dad, of course, being Doc Rivers.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Kevin Love's checked in for Derek Williams. James comes in for Shumpert. Smith checked in for Kyle Korver. And Irving subbed in for Darren Williams. He hits the second from the line.
And guys, the Clippers last year, they were okay against the Eastern Conference, but not spectacular. You would have thought that with how well they were overall, they would have just really feasted on the East.
Here's Redick. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Smith. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Irving with it. Chris Paul covering. Fires top of the key. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Sanders. For Cleveland, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
You know, I know that's an aspect they've been trying to address as a team. I mean, they've got to get those free throw numbers up and improve.
Ball against Irving. And it's Paul penetrating. Griffin. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on Love. For Los Angeles, they have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. And the first one drops. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. The 3 from LeBron. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Cavaliers ahead. They lead by a bucket. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point game at the end of one. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, your thoughts? How are the Cavaliers playing?
Well, it's tough to play on the road, and they overcame that. They were mentally and physically prepared for this game, but it hasn't been